So you thought you could stop old Cap from using his shield. You know, that's pretty not epic for a game studio called Epic Games, but you can't. Cap, quit! High gas prices? I think not. Did you guys know bots, yes bots, will now dance on you? I might cry if I lose to a bot and he hits the default dance. That is just maximum disrespect. What's that, not epic enough? All right. Number 15. Rocket riding has unarguably always been one of Fortnite's biggest trends. Since it was discovered in the early days of Chapter 1, we've seen countless insane plays and trick shots being hit using this special little mechanic. You probably didn't know, but rocket riding actually started off as a glitch that Epic later turned into an official feature. As time went on, rocket rides have become so common that the community has started to look for new tricks to pull off. This is where the new flare gun that was introduced in Season 3 comes into play. And forget rocket riding. Introducing flare riding. Not only did this guy manage to ride the flare, but he even landed a clean trick shot to secure the victory royale. Was that not epic enough? Number 14. If there's one thing that puts a smile on my face when creating these videos, it's seeing that even with all of the changes Fortnite has made over the years, the community continues to elevate the same crazy strategies that we created in the early days. And you gotta admit, after playing Fortnite for so long, going for wins as you usually would can get a bit boring. And that's when you gotta spice things up. And the tactic you're about to see is the perfect way to do so. This, my friends, is a sky base. Rather than going for any eliminations and surviving the phases of the storm, the goal is to collect as many materials as possible and build yourself up to the sky limit. From there, you survive to the last circle, and well, that's where this can happen. Luckily, our friend Zickness here has absolutely perfect timing and managed to eliminate the last opponent just a second before falling to his death. Number 13. All right, so as much as it pains me to say, the sky-based strategy from the last clip doesn't always go as planned. If you aren't paying attention, you'll quickly find yourself hurling straight toward the ground that you worked so tirelessly to get away from. Thankfully, Epic's provided us with more than enough utility items to save ourselves with. For those of you skilled enough to actually do so, I know I'm not. But as you'll quickly come to learn, no amount of items can save you from pure bad luck.
Jag bara slutade bygga från ingen anledning.
Ska jag komma och resa dig?
Just as he thought he'd made it out alive, Duo Pepsi was quickly brought back down to earth, literally, and served the harsh reality that is Fortnite. And the absolute timing on the clip is heartbreaking. Poor guy threw the crash pad perfectly, only to be knocked before he even hit it. Number 12. So we've shown you the good and the ugly sides of the sky-based strategy. Now let's take a look at what it's like to be on the defense against these towering troublemakers. When you've spotted an enemy in a sky base, your go-to reaction is probably shoot their base and watch them pummel back down to earth. But what happens when you're in a limited time mode that only contains throwable items? Not even my man Tom Brady could throw a grenade that high. And that's where a little friend that I like to call the Junk Rift comes into play. Many people seem to have forgotten this item, as it admittedly wasn't that useful in regular modes, but it's the perfect counter for sky basers in the Catch LTM. Ah, look at that. Sweet justice served. Number 11. Bases in the sky are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to fun and creative strategies to mess around with. When swimming was first introduced in Chapter 2, a whole new realm of possibilities were opened up, making way for some of the most intuitive plays to date. In a 1 versus 1 scenario, it's easy to lose track of your surroundings and become too focused on the enemy, leaving yourself vulnerable to embarrassingly good plays, such as the one seen in this clip.
Kevin lures his opponent into the trap. Attempts to move. Will it work? Will it work? That's beautiful.
This man turned a whole waterfall into a lethal weapon. Armed with a grappler to break his fall, the enemy literally fell right into his plan with a not-so-soft landing waiting for him at the bottom. Number 10. Let's not lie to ourselves, we all pretty much hate the loot sharks, right? As cool of an addition as they are to the game, nothing's more frustrating than boxing yourself in to heal up only to be instantly sent back to the lobby by a shark on a feeding frenzy. As annoying as they are, you can't help but feel bad for this little guy who found himself stuck in a whirlpool, constantly being thrown into the air over and over. Thankfully, a kind Samaritan came along in a choppa and managed to set him free back into the ocean where he belongs. It took a few tries, but with a little determination and a big brain play, he actually managed to boost into the loot shark mid-air, knocking it away from the whirlpool just enough that it could swim away. Can we get a hashtag free Brucey in the comments? Let's get it going, lads. Number 9. Oh, it is number 9. Oh, I did miss it. More often than not, random players that you meet throughout the match have a no fun allowed policy that will spray you down with their whole inventory the second you make eye contact. Very rarely, however, even a large group of players can be friendly enough to allow for a truly epic moment. If you've ever played Gary's mod, this clip may seem strangely reminiscent to you. Rather than going for the victory royale, one player decided to set up a loot shop in the middle of the map. This drew players from near and far to check out Fortnite's take on ammunition. As impressive as an accomplishment as this is, I'm even more surprised to see so many players getting along in one area. I'm sure they used the universal gesture of gaming friendliness. Let's be honest though, we all know somebody came along and tossed some nades in there eventually. Number 8. Compared to other popular PC games, we're extremely lucky that cheaters are so spaced in the world of Fortnite. I think I speak for the majority of us when I say that I can't even remember the last time I came across a player who was very obviously cheating in game. But with that being said, there are definitely some lucky clips that make you question whether the player is actually cheating or not. I'm not sure whether to be impressed or terrified. This man straight up activated henchman mode for this shot. I would hate to be on the receiving end of that one. Number 7. In a match filled with 100 players and multiple AI enemies with the sole purpose of hunting you down, a lot can go wrong in a very short amount of time. That uneasy feeling that you get like somebody's got you in their sights is only made worse when you're sitting out in the open just trying to claim Aquaman's trident. And to make matters worse, as you'll see in this painful clip, even the loot sharks will target you while you're trying to obtain the powers of the sea. Number 6. We've all made that one play that makes us question whether or not we're dreaming. The feeling of pulling off a play that you'd never make is one of the best feelings in Fortnite. It may look easy when you see the professionals do it on stream, but actually executing some of these plays can be insanely difficult. But that's not to say you shouldn't go for them, because you never know. One day it might just work, and that's exactly what happened in this clip. I can't even begin to imagine the look on their face when that shot connected. The poor enemy probably didn't even have time to react to what was happening. Great play, my friend. Bravo. Number 5. With as many items as Epic adds to Fortnite, it's no surprise that players tend to find completely unintended strategies to make with them. Rocket riding is a great example of this, but for something a bit more modern, let's take a look at the new throwable upgrade benches. Once deployed, these things can be pretty difficult to destroy. This creates the perfect device to block players from going into or coming out of certain areas. Bad Dog 1876 demonstrates this perfectly, trapping players within a loot vault and finishing them off with some nades. If you've ever played Apex Legends, this is very similar to how players use Caustic's gas traps. Number 4. Alright, get ready for number 4. Since the dawn of Fortnite, emotes have played a very important role in the game, allowing players to express their feelings without actually speaking to each other. This is great for many reasons, especially because you can brag about eliminating an enemy without hurting anybody's feelings. Well, mostly anyway. When Epic decided to add AI-controlled bots to lobbies, the decision was met with mixed feelings. One of the big complaints is that bots didn't act like real players, making them feel super out of place. Well, as usual, Epic heard the community's feedback and implemented some game-changing updates. Alright, come on, Epic. As if getting eliminated by a bot wasn't enough. Sheesh. Number 3. Emotes don't always have to be for taunting your enemies. They can also be used to show friendliness. Epic encourages this by giving challenges which requires players to dance at certain locations. When this happens, it's pretty likely that you'll run into another player there. More often than not though, that other player's no fun allowed policy kicks in and you get eliminated without even putting up a fight. But when you both agree to be friendly, it can be a truly beautiful moment, like no other. Alexa, play sicko mode. All right, here it is, number 2. Over the years, Epic has stayed true to their word that the item shop would only grant cosmetic changes with no competitive advantage. Well, mostly anyway. However, that doesn't stop players from getting creative and making it seem otherwise. From the perspective of another player, it was probably mind-blowing to see Captain America toss his shield and it actually deal damage to the environment. And your number 1 spot. To top this video off, let's take a look at one of the craziest trick shots I've seen in a while. I'm not sure I could even build the course that this guy did, let alone hit a game-winning snipe shot from so far away.
I hit it, but I landed.
4 bounces, multiple window maneuvers and turns, and landing on top of a rock like a victory pedestal. This shot is one for the books, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this video, check out this video on screen right now. Don't click off, and I will see you guys over there.